You talk about the importance of being open to changing your beliefs. What
Mhm.
beliefs did you have to change in order to get to that understanding?
Oh, geez. Well, I think the first thing that pops in my mind is, the mommy code, that we're supposed to fix it. We're supposed to keep them
Mhm.
safe. We're supposed to,
Mhm. Right. We're
um,
only as happy as our saddest child.
so I had to like wrestle with that belief to the point where, I just like sliced it up and threw it away and burned it. And began to believe that the only thing I can control is me, my thoughts, my beliefs, my walk in this world, who I choose to be in it, who I choose to be in moments, what I read, who I surround myself with. Those are all the things that I can control. And I had absolutely no control over Sam's journey other than to be clear with him that he was loved no matter what and do the things that I felt were loving in the midst of all of this, which I had to wrestle with my own kind of demon around the request for money.
Right.
And that was one of the boundaries that was hard for me to get to because, in fact, there was a moment where I was so desperate just to do something for him that hitting Cash App send was my hit to feel like I
Mhm.
was doing something. And when I realized that, I was done.
It's really when we're enabling, it's really about us. It's not about them.
Absolutely. Yes. And
It's
that, like,
we're helping to kill them.
yes, yes. But it's not an intellectual thing. It is a heart-centered shift that needs to take place. And so it's almost like a full body experience of getting super clear. Oh, that's my addiction. Oh, okay, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm taking my power back. And then a couple other things is really truly believing that no matter what happens, there are always gifts and lessons embedded in the experience. And so to be able to shift from what we normally ask, and it's been my experience too, is why is this happening? Which is a completely unanswerable question. So it leads us down a rabbit hole of despair because we can't answer the question.
Or how could this happen to me?
How could this happen to me? How can they do this to me? All of those kinds of things. And to recognize that, and flip it to, okay, what are the gifts and lessons embedded in this experience for me?
Yeah.
And really lean into that consistently. And then gifts and lessons will pop up.
Right.
So the day that I witnessed my son's arrest, one of the gifts that popped up that day, back up in the hotel room, was my spouse absolutely took care of me.
Right.
I dropped to my knees. I was inconsolable, and she let me rest. She fed me, and then she drove me home the next day. The next day, I get home. I get on the phone with my best friend, who is a shaman, and I say, "Who do you know that can help me navigate the judicial system, the jail system, that system?" And the gift of being able to ask for help, most of us are like, "I got this," or "I don't
Right.
have this."
Right.
That gift of stepping into, okay, I need to ask for help. I'm going to ask for help. Who am I going to call? That's a big shift that I find a lot of people need to make that will serve them at a much higher level. I'm a big believer in success leaves clues. And so I was on a journey on the front end to find people who had navigated the loving someone in substance use disorder, whether it was a spouse or a child or a parent that had done it from a thriving place.
Right. Right.
And it took me, I don't know, 8 years until I found you and the only reason I found you was because I was doing the podcast and
Right.
talking to people. And I talked to Rachel Graham and
Mhm.
she connected me with you. And so that's how it works is
Mhm.
if you're willing and open, you will find the people that you need in order to create whatever it is you're trying to create from an aspirational perspective. So, success leaves clues. One of the fastest ways is to identify a model of success of what you want to create. Believe that there are always gifts and lessons embedded in it. You are only in control of yourself. Those are some fundamental
Mhm.
beliefs